All right. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining our meeting, our March GarsCom monthly meeting. I am just going to go through the agenda very quickly. First up, we have Tanny Carroll, who's going to do the opening and welcoming. Then I will talk a little bit about marketing and communication, although there's a little bit of a twist in there. Then I'll be handing over to Anthony, who will update us on the crime statistics. Then Pierre will talk about the security in GarsCom. Betsy was going to join. She did excuse herself, and I will read her excuse. She did give me a little bit of an update on what or regarding the water pipes, but she said that you guys are more than welcome to type your questions that you would like answered in the chat box, and I will then export them and email them to her. She will then answer them in writing, and I can then share it to everybody. And then after that, we will have time for any questions. So Tanny Carroll, thank you, and over to you.
Hello and good evening to everybody. It's very nice to see all of you again. I really wish that we could start with our physical meetings, but that would hopefully happen soon, and we must not lose hope for that. But thanks for coming to this meeting and joining, and thank you for all the new people that I hear your names, and I wish we can meet, but we will meet one day. Yes, I just also want to say, please just put your questions in the chat box. It's very important on what question you've got, and anytime that you've got a question, so that we can just keep up and see what how we can answer that. We are almost a full team. Herklaas, one of our directors, made an excuse for tonight, and yeah, I haven't seen Phoebe yet, but she might be joining us soon as well. But thank you very much, and I would just like to open for us with a prayer. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight asking for your guidance, your wisdom, your support as we begin this meeting. Help us to engage in a meaningful discussion. Allow us to grow closer as a group and to bond as a community. We pray for all the community members that are sick, for all those that lost a loved one in this month, for all those that are worried and on difficult circumstances. And we pray that you open our eyes, that we see the problems and we can address that. Give us the mercy to do that and to love one another. Be with us tonight. We pray that in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you, Manuel.
Thank you, Tanny Carroll. I just want to mention as well, as Tanny Carroll said, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat box. And you do not have to wait until that certain person speaks. You are welcome to, if you have any questions now, you're welcome to type them in the chat box. And we will answer them when we get to that. Just again, any questions that you want Betsy to answer, you are also more than welcome to put them in the chat box. If there are any that we can answer, we will definitely do so. Other words, I will send those questions on to Betsy so that she can answer them in writing, as she did excuse herself. But when it is supposed to be her turn to talk, I will just read the message that she has sent through to us. All right, tonight, marketing and communication. So just a couple of things that I want to mention there, and then a little bit of something exciting, an exciting project that we are going to embark on. So first of all, just if you are still not part of your street WhatsApp group, your GarsCom street WhatsApp group, please just reach out to myself. You can also send an email to inquiries@garscom.co.za. Ask for you to be added to your street WhatsApp group. When you send the email, please also just remember to add your cell phone number there and the street that you belong to so that we know which street admin to send that through. While I'm mentioning that, I just want to, if there are any street admins on here, just want to say a big thank you. There is a lot of work that you guys are doing behind the scenes, and we really appreciate that. If there's anything that we can assist you with in your street, please feel free to reach out to us and we will gladly assist. For any other questions, please note that you can always send an email to inquiries@garscom.co.za. What I would actually like to talk a little bit about today is a mixture between security and marketing, as we will be starting to market this. So we have partnered with a company called PTPC, and that stands for Prosperity Through Positive Change. And I would like to encourage all of you to go and have a look at their website, ptpc.co.za. I actually have the website open, and I will just go through the website now because you will probably see some familiar photos in there. But what this company actually does is they help to improve the visual or the look and feel of your border. So they specialize in these border walls. And they do advertising on these border walls. So if you guys drive down Solomon Mashlangu Road, I'm sure all of you have seen the adverts that is on the walls there. So what this company actually does, PTPC, is they clean up the sidewalk. And as you know, we still have a big problem in Solomon Mashlangu and in Atterbury Drive, where it's overgrown. There are people that can hide there. We've got fence jumpers that's still there. So in our project where we're going to try and make these borders safer in GarsCom, one of the things that we want to do is start cleaning up these sidewalks and fix those walls up, and then there can be advertisements put on there. If any of you would like to become part of the solution or would like to become part of this project, please just put your details in the chat box. So you can put your name there, you can put your number on your email there. We will be happy to reach out to you, especially the people in Vinton Street, Borzoi Street, Bluton Street. Those are the people that will benefit the most from these walls and the pavements that's being cleaned. Obviously, all of us will benefit because it will expose those walls, open them. When I say expose, it's better for us to see what is happening there. And when we then start putting our next phase of cameras or security up on these borders, it will be easier for us to monitor them. But we definitely want to start improving these sidewalks and get the community together to help and to get these borders sorted out. So I'm just going to open up the website. This is their website. Again, ptpc.co.za. You guys are more than welcome to go to this website, go through that, read what they do, their story, how you can assist. There are various ways that you can become part of them. So if you look at this, you can be an advertiser. If you're a homeowner, how does that work? If you want to become an investor, meaning that you want to contribute towards building some of those walls, and that means that you will get some of the advertisement revenue that comes in, or becoming a field agent. So please go through that. If there's any questions, please reach out to them. But we have partnered with them, and we have partnered with them before, and they've already done some work here. So I actually just want to go through some of these pictures. So the picture that you see here on the right-hand side, that is of Solomon Mashlangu. Some of these adverts you probably have seen before. And just look at this, the difference. Before PTPC redid that sidewalk, or that pavement, what it looked like. And I mean, still a lot of Solomon Mashlangu and Atterbury still looks like this. And after they're done, they actually maintain that garden completely. They make sure that the new advertisements come up, etc. So they take care of this entire place here. So as you can see, it is much more difficult for criminals to hide here, and it looks visually appealing for our area. if I go and look at some of the other pictures that is in here, stuff that they have done. This one here is in Mainland that they've done. If you drive past Mainland down, I think it is down Atterbury Road at the corner of Atterbury, and I think that is January Masalela. They've also redone the walls there, which looks much better, because those residents, they obviously also had a lot of issues with fence jumpers, and they wanted to make a plan to keep those people out. So if you look at this, look at that wall, they actually rebuilt the entire wall, and they redid the garden there. So this is a good way to start securing our borders, first of all, cleaning them up. So regardless what we do to monitor those borders, if we put beams in, if we put cameras in, we will still liaise with the experts to tell us what is the best that we can do to monitor those borders. But regardless what it is that we do, we have to clean up those borders, and we have to make sure that those walls are safe, etc. And this is exactly what PTPC does, is they assist with this. Tanny Carol, I don't know if there's anything that you would like to add to this.
No, I think you covered everything. Thank you, Manuel. Yeah, I would like them, even if there's street admins for this border streets, also Tiervis up to the end of Tiervis is also part of the Atterbury border. Then you can, we will be glad to help you to get all your people in your streets involved. But as Manuel said, it's for the benefit of the whole community. So everybody must please, don't think it's just the border houses. It's really all of us. And if we can take hands on this, we can really make a difference. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Yeah, good, thanks. I'll say something more if I remember. Bye, Donkey.
Thanks, Tanny Carol. And again, if you would like to become part of the solution, or you would like to know a little bit more about this, you are welcome to just put it in the chat box. You're welcome to send it directly to me. If you don't want other people to see your details, you're welcome to send it to me. We will then get in contact with you, or please go to the website, read up about what it is that these people do. The owner of the company is called Ruan, very nice guy. You can reach out to him as well. We've already had meetings with him, and thank you, Kuketso, and that he will be helping us to get started with the border project. Just something else I would like to mention is, I said it last time as well, should you go to the GarsCom website, www.garscom.co.za, you will see that it is currently under construction. We are redoing or completely redoing that website. Once that is done, we will let you guys know, but don't think that the website is just gone and it will not come back. We are actually busy redesigning the website. So once that is up and running, we will let the community know, and then you guys are welcome to go and visit our website. All right, from a marketing and communications perspective, that is it from my side. And I'm now going to hand over to Anthony, who will give us an update on the crime. Thank you, Anthony.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Thanks, Manuel. Yeah, thanks for that one. On those borders, previously when we didn't have this, there was a lot of activity and pathways cut in those bushes and markers placed there. Since that's been taken away, our crime has dropped from the borders by probably about 95%. So yeah, let's get on board with this and get those borders cleaned up. The crime tendencies, we've had a bit of not a rough month, but the lady that does the dockets and puts together the tendencies at SIAC has had a back operation, so I haven't received all the tendencies for March. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through what I've got briefly, and then just take you through all that and one or two other things regarding the crime. As from the 1st of March to date, our Sector 3, in which we fall, has listed 18 priority crimes for the whole Sector 3, of which GarsCom has registered 2 priority crimes reported to SAPS for the same period. So you can see the difference and how well we are actually doing compared to the other areas. One of the concerns out of those 18 crimes that I've listed there is the aggravated robberies. These include house robberies, street robberies, common robberies. The frightening factor there is the aggravated robberies make up 44% of that total. In other words, we've had eight aggravated incidents that make up that total of 18, and that is rather concerning. The problem that we're finding now is the violent crimes around us are increasing. We've been very fortunate in GarsCom that it hasn't spilled over to us yet, and I'm hoping it doesn't, but there is a strong possibility that it can spill over into our area. The people that are very vulnerable to these aggravated crimes are the elderly, the vulnerable people leaving their security gates and their doors open with very little or no security on around their perimeter of their premises. So we've got to be very careful when it comes to this. A lot of these criminals are opportunistic criminals. The days of marking a house and marking a driveway, that's long gone. It doesn't happen anymore. These guys are driving around. They're opportunistic. They can see whether your alarm light is on or not on. They see whether your gates and stuff are standing open, and they will jump at that opportunity to actually get in there. What was concerning on Monday on the public holiday in Sector 3, our neighbors across in the other parts of Garsfontein experienced 3 armed robberies on Monday, of which 2 were in the same complex. And again, that was opportunistic. They came in, they committed a robbery, came out, saw another opportunity, and committed another robbery in the same complex on Monday. So Monday was a very bad day for our precinct, or our sector, having 3 armed robberies on one day. Places that are being targeted at the moment, and a lot of people have asked, how does GarsCom compare to closed off places, complexes, etc. Now, just for this month, for the 3 weeks, the tendencies that I've got, if you look at complexes, security areas, retirement centers, the closed off areas where you've got a boom that stands open or a boom that you've got to swipe your hand, those type of areas, security areas, closed off areas, retirement centers, they recorded a total of 13 various crimes, things like theft of motor vehicle, plus armed aggravated incidents in those areas. And if you look at GarsCom, we've had 2 incidents this month, which was, one was theft out of a motor vehicle and the other one was a burglary in Binton Street. So there you can see we've had no armed robberies in an open area versus the 13 aggravated crimes in closed off areas. So I hope that answers a few of the questions that people have raised previously regarding how do we compare to other places. The crimes that are standing out that are still rather concerning, and there is a marked increase in theft of motor vehicles. That is still the crime that is standing out above everything else at the moment. Vehicles that are being targeted there, and there's an increase in the targeting of these vehicles, is the Toyota Hilux, the Toyota Fortune, and then the Toyota Etios. These Toyota vehicles are getting more and more sought after, and there's more and more of them being taken on a weekly basis. When we see the stats, it looks terrible. So that is a big concern. The second concern is the theft out of motor vehicles, where the cars are either being jammed, or the new tendency where the criminals park next to the vehicle that's just come in. They lean out the window with a battery-operated drill with about between a 3 to 5 millimeter size drill, and then they just drill a little hole behind the lock on the door handle, and somehow they then open the vehicle, get in, take what they want, and then they leave. Schools are also a problem, nursery schools, where the guys are sitting there, their parents aren't locking the vehicles, guys see that, they jump out, take the laptops, handbags, etc., and they move off. The third highest crime that's being recorded at the moment is burglaries, and that is then followed by the aggravated robberies, which is moving up. We are seeing more and more aggravated robberies every week on the tendencies, and it's not increasing by 1 or 2. You're looking at some areas, it's 3 or 4. The whole precinct, we're looking at sometimes 5 to 6 that have increased over the month that we're having a look at. The times that are standing out is 8 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock at night. Now, these are the times when obviously when people are at work, there's traffic running around. Certain semi-boomed off areas have got their booms standing open, or they've got their hand that swipes. The guys are coming in the day, they're doing their jobs, and they're getting out. The times that we get for the crimes, it depends on when the crime is reported. If the person doesn't know the actual time of that crime, then it'll get reported. If it was sometime in the morning, they'll say between 8 and 12. So if we can get a more accurate time of when that crime actually took place, will actually help us a lot, will benefit us as well when we're doing our planning. But the priority times is mostly in the day, between 8 in the morning and 8 o'clock at night. Weekends, the days that are standing out are weekends, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. These days vary. It's not the same every week, but the tendency that I've looked at over the 3 weeks, we're looking at Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, which is your weekends. People go out, and some people don't put their alarms on. The house gets hit. Vehicles getting stolen at malls, outside on pavements, at parties, bars, etc. What we want to try and get across to people as well is we need to reduce our theft of motor vehicle and theft out of motor vehicle. It's not an easy thing to do. It is purely the owner of these vehicles that need to be a little bit more observant and careful. What we'd like to suggest is if you pull into with your vehicle into a shopping center or a mall, have a look if there's people standing around you, or parked next to you sitting in a vehicle, or parked opposite where you're parking sitting in a vehicle. When you lock your car and push that remote, walk around your car, try every door, make sure every door, including your boot, is locked. Because what these guys are doing, they're sitting there jamming the vehicles as well, or they just lean out when you're locking your door and then park next to you on the left-hand side of your vehicle. They just lean over and just slightly open your door handle, then your car doesn't lock. So if you're at a shopping mall, even if there isn't anybody around you or milling around, standing around, just when you lock your vehicle, make sure it doesn't take 10 seconds. Walk around your vehicle, make sure all your door handles are locked, your boot is locked. Then you know your vehicle is locked. So that's just one of the few things you can do to try and help us get that theft of motor vehicles down, because we are actually becoming one of the precincts next to Brooklyn, which has got the highest amount of vehicle thefts. So it's not looking good for the Garsfontein precinct regarding vehicles. Again, fortunately, GarsCom, with what we're doing, our criminal incidents are a lot less. Then on a more positive note, we had a lot of reports earlier in the month, towards the end of last month, about thefts out of vehicles at schools in Garsfontein. A positive arrest was made. Suspects were apprehended and that were committing these crimes at the school. So that seems to have slowed down a bit now as well. And then also the motorcycle gang, the guys that were riding around in the Quantums without the back seats, stealing the motorbikes at night, they were arrested one evening this week by SAPS Garsfontein. It was actually quite a good arrest because they've now linked these guys positively to cases and video footage that they found in Silverton, as well as other areas in the east. So that's also a very positive arrest for the Garsfontein station. Then also earlier we had at St. Bernard, we had the laptop that was stolen out of the bakkie. Unfortunately, it seems like on the video footage, the owner did not lock the bakkie. These guys obviously saw it, they pulled in, lifted the laptop. We got the footage, we sent it through to SAPS. The guys were arrested, I think just over the weekend or earlier today. This vehicle, the occupants were arrested in Centurion. So that's also another good arrest, positive, that came also from our footage that we've got here. They are linking the guys to a previous case here as well at the Woodhill Spa, where we also got footage of these guys removing a laptop from a residence vehicle parked there. So they're linking those two cases, and it looks like that's going to be also a very good outcome there, let's hope. Just something I want to caution people about. A lot of people have seen the Tshwane Metro PD Quantum that's riding around our area. It's a Zone 6 Sector 2. It is the Quantum from Metro PD that is stationed at Pretorius Park. We've had various reports that these guys are trying to bribe people again. We've even had one case of assault. Now, unfortunately, the resident doesn't want to open a case, so these guys cannot be disciplined in a way that we can actually have them lose their jobs. It's not a nice thing to do. But yeah, unfortunately, they don't have a case number. The Metro PD wants to get rid of guys like that, but they have to base their suspension disciplinaries and the outcome of that on the case number, on a reported case with SAPS. So please just be aware of these vehicles. If these guys are targeting you and you've been involved in something like it, please open a case immediately at SAPS Vasfontein. So I can get those case numbers and send them through to the senior soup at the Metro PD, because he wants to get rid of this kind of thing in his department. He's got a satellite office here with us for this area, and he's trying to clean up the Metro PD as far as he can. Then also just want to ask you guys to appeal to your residents, your neighbors, and everybody. Please report all incidents to the control room. It doesn't matter if it seems a very small incident. If they've tried to break into your premises, they've broken your gate open, but they haven't stolen anything, it's still malicious damage to private property. If you report it, we're able to plot the tendencies and see what the modus operandi of these guys are, the times they're working, where they're working, so that we can put measures in place to either catch them or stop that from happening. So it's extremely important to report your cases, incidents to the control room, and the control room will also advise you, if it's necessary to report it to SAPS or not. So we need those things that we can, because there's been quite a few cases. We've had incidents of garden tools being stolen out of premises in Pierfus Street, and one or two minor other incidents also that resulted in losses and damage to property, which haven't been reported. Yes, they're not priority crimes, but it gives us an indication of the movement of these people, so that we can put measures in place to try and stop these guys. But yeah, hopefully next month we'll have a lot more to report back on the whole quarterly scenario. We'll do that next month. And then also I'll cover next month also the posting of pictures again on social media, and the do's and the don'ts, just to refresh people on that again, because it has been happening again. But I'll cover that again next week. Thanks, Manuel.
Thank you, Anthony, and thank you for that great news that some arrests were made. It's not always just doom and gloom, so that is definitely positive and great news. Thank you for that. Next, I'm going to hand over to Pierre, who will give us an update on the security. Thanks, Pierre.
Good evening, everybody. Glad to be here. I was actually listening to Anthony, and he talked about so many things that I also wanted to mention. So thanks for that, Anthony. A lot of our duties actually overflow, and at the end of the day, it's all about the team. So it actually goes further than the team. So let's talk a bit about that. If you are in your area and where you live, just be aware of what is going on around you. Get to know your neighbors, because if we all individuals, I know we got high walls, and because of the situation in our country, we tend to live on our own, and we don't think or see the people around us. The problem is, if we live like that, and it's so much easier for crime to take place. So if we are aware of each other and we look out for each other, it is so much more difficult for them to do this, and then they'll rather go to an area where it is so much easier for them to commit their crimes. Not that we wish that, but at the end of the day, we would like to make it as difficult as possible on this side. What we also see is that it is definitely makes a big difference, and I think Anthony also started talking about that, as well as Manuel, that the visibility that we have on our patrols make a lot of difference as well. We can have booms, and we can have this and that, and for all of the security, but the difference between GarsCom and our surrounding neighbors already speaks a lot about this particular point. So if we have a lot of visibility, as we do with our patrols, then it is the crime just goes down substantially. So at the end of the day, if we make use of this situation and we get to know our neighbors, we talk to them often. I'm not talking about being a nosy neighbor. I'm just talking about caring about the people around you. see, if there's something weird going on next to you, then to try and reach out, not to the neighbor, because you're gonna increase the risk, to reach out to the control room so that we can send out somebody to do something about this. Okay, as they also said, we are trying to do something about our borders, which is a very good area to stop crime from happening. And that's why Manuel also mentioned about these walls with the company PTPC. So go onto the website and have a look how you can actually contribute to this so that we can get our borders clean. It's a lot of hiding place that we can actually get rid of. At the end of the day, that also helps a lot to lower the risk in our area. So if we all take hands and we look out for each other and we help each other and we phone immediately to the control room, we can actually lower our crime as much as possible. And the other night I was waiting for the next shift to happen, and we normally wait for each other there at Sasol, and then a gentleman came up walking towards me, and he said to me, he actually walked to me and he pointed his finger to me, and at first I thought, well, what's your problem? And I thought, no, wait, let this guy speak. And he said, you know what, it's because of people like you that our area is so much safer, and the result of that is that our house prices are actually higher in this area than in the other areas. So that's also something to think about. If we all stand together and we work together to get this done, join the patrols, do something about the border walls, phone the control room when anything strange is happening. All of that is as a contribution to something like that. And he's so right. He was he gave me a very nice compliment, and it's not for me, it's for all the patrollees. So we really are doing a lot of in this area, and we also, it's as a result of safety for everybody. So at the end of the day, it is something to be proud of. I think we've gone through a difficult time during the lockdown, but at the end of the day, our patrols just continue doing this, where other areas totally stopped. So we really have something to be proud of. So become part of the solution. The last thing I just want to point out, if anything happens that you are outside your property and somebody wants to stop you or anything, go to the nearest police station or the nearest garage where there's, well, in the case of the garage, there's cameras there. So at least you will have footage. The control room can use this footage, and they can liaise with the police station, and we can get to that tendency that Anthony was talking about. At least we can follow up with this, and the tendencies is what actually helped in arresting these people that stole the motorbikes. So it is very important to report everything to the control room and go to the police station and report it and get a case number so that we can follow this up. And that's basically all from my side. And firstly, those people that are attending tonight here and also helping and looking out for everybody around them, it's very, very helpful. Thank you very much for your contribution on this. Thank you, Manuel.
Thank you, Pierre, and thank you for the update. Just some of the things that Pierre said that I would like to reiterate. So if you guys see anything suspicious happening around you or you hear something, please don't think that you will be a nuisance to the control room. We want you to contact them. We all stay in the same area. We all want the area to be safe. Even if they just send a patrol car out and they see that it is something not significant, it doesn't matter. we followed up on something that could have potentially been a problem. The other thing that we ask is that your first point of call, please be the control room and not your street WhatsApp group. Not that we don't want you to post on your street. You are more than welcome to post on your street, but the reason to contact the control room first is so that they can act immediately, and then they can send one of the patrol vehicles out to go and have a look and to investigate, and then to act if need be. And then you are more than welcome to post on your street group so that people know what's happening and that they can also be on the lookout. If you would like to, so all of this information I have actually put in the chat box. I've put the control room telephone numbers in there. There are 2 numbers. There's a cell number, excuse me, and there's a landline number that you can contact them on. I've also put the patrol's email address there. If you would like to become part of the patrol teams, please email patrols@garscom.co.za. I will be happy to share all the information with you. Even if you just want to see how it works and what we do, a lot of people think that you are in a lot of danger when you patrol. That's actually not true, especially in our area. I can tell you that a lot of those, I'm also one of the patrollers, and a lot of those patrol sessions at times are actually very, very quiet, where there's nothing happening. Doesn't mean that our eyes aren't peeled. Our eyes are definitely peeled, and we look out for anything suspicious that we see or hear, or just a dog barking, or whatever the case might be. So if you want to maybe just join one of the patrollers, one of the patrol coordinators, just send an email to patrols@GarsCom, and you are more than welcome to join on one of our patrol sessions to see what we do, and then make a decision if you want to be part of this. It's sometimes also a nice outing for the family. Sometimes it is a wife and the husband. Sometimes they have their children with, and then they drive around. Just the one thing that I do want to mention there is that when you do drive around, it is a good thing to be quiet in the car so that you can hear everything that happens around you. You are in constant contact with the patrol vehicles, the national patrol vehicles that is on the road, and the control room. You have two-way radio with them. So it really is very, very safe to be a patroller. So please email us if you would like to become part, or just drive with any of us to see what is happening. All right, so next up would have been Betsy. I am just going to read the message that Betsy sent me, and then if there are any questions, again, you are welcome to post them into the chat box. If we can answer them, we will. Otherwise, I am going to export the chat, and I will be emailing it to Betsy, and she can then reply in writing. So Betsy sent me a message saying, "Good evening, Manuel. I'm still at the City of Tshwane Council Chambers in a multi-party caucus meeting with no end in sight yet. Please make my excuse for tonight. I'll respond to questions in writing. Where the pipes are concerned, these pipes should have been replaced 15 to 20 years ago. It is number 1 on the IDP capital projects that was submitted for Ward 45. But in the interim, it is reactive repairs taking place. If there are any updates on this, I will engage with the residents. No timelines for this yet." So that was the message from Betsy. And what I would just like to say as well is, guys, if there is a leak or if there is a problem with the water, as we currently see a lot of burst pipes, especially when you look at nowadays at Herder Street, Lassie Street, there's a lot of issues there, Richback, etc. If you guys have a water leak, you want us to escalate it, we are more than happy to escalate that for you, and Betsy does it from her side as well. And I have to say that most of the time she gets good reaction from City of Tshwane, or if it is any other contractor. But please note, we are not able to escalate anything if there is no reference number. You can get the information from your street admin on how to log a call. And once you have that reference number, you can send it to your street admin. Your street admin will then in turn send it on to me, and we will escalate it from our side and then make sure that that gets fixed or attended to as soon as possible. I also know that at this stage, there is a backlog for backfilling. So there's a lot of these holes where they've repaired the pipes that is still open. So we are aware of all of those holes. We have escalated them to City of Tshwane as well. Please note it is a different team that does the backfilling as opposed to the team that actually fixes the pipe. So they aren't necessarily the people that fills the holes again. There is a backfilling team that comes in and they fill those holes. So we keep on pushing for that to happen. There is a backlog, unfortunately, but once they get around to coming to the streets here where there's holes, they will come and fix them. So again, if there's anything on that, a question that you have, please feel free to put them in the chat box, and I will be more than happy to see if I can answer those questions. Or then send them to Betsy. All right, so I think let's go over into any of those questions. So I'm just scrolling up in the chat to see if there is anything. So first of all, Kuketsu, thank you for your information. We will definitely be in contact, and I do note the correct number that you've posted there. I've posted a lot of information in the chat box. Please go and have a look at that, make a screen print, copy that information if you like. Andre just said to everybody there, thank you to GarsCom team for all your hard work. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you, Andre. Anthony, it's good to hear your voice again. And then Tarin Skieper said, good evening all. Will we still have the rand water interruption during the 1st to the 3rd of April? So Tarin, thank you for that question. No, so Betsy actually did send an email out that our ward, or Ward 45, will not be affected by the water interruption from the 1st till the 3rd of April. So thank you for that question, Tarin. Then Elaine asked, can we report the number of potholes together? There are numerous potholes in the first part of Dalmatian. Elaine, so you are welcome to do that as long as it is all in one street. So if it is in Dalmatian, please report all of those potholes and then send those reference numbers through to me. When you do that, it is also easier or more manageable to say or report a pothole that is in front of Dalmatian 123 and then give me that reference number. That will just help, and that will help us to follow up and go and check. And that's what Betsy does as well. Betsy will actually drive around and go and check the reference numbers that she has with the addresses to make sure that those potholes have been fixed. I don't know if you guys actually saw that the other day, I think it was the engine garage, Betsy actually went there and she started filling up some of the potholes herself just to try and help us out. So Betsy's really fighting for us and she's on our side. Jabulile posted here, is the process for reporting the poor quality of potholes same as when one spots an actual pothole? Jabulile, yes, that is exactly the same place where you will report that. However, just say there that the pothole has been repaired, but the quality is very poor, and they will have to come and redo that, and then also send that information with that detail through to your street admin so they can send it on to us. And what we will then do with Betsy's help is we will go and have a look if they have actually repaired that to a satisfactory level once they say that it has been repaired. All right, I do not see any other questions in here. So tonight the meeting has been a bit shorter than usual, and it's mostly because Betsy is currently in a meeting. Hopefully Betsy will be joining us for the April meeting where she can address us. But guys, so if there are any other questions that you have, please feel free to email us at inquiries@garscom.co.za, and we will be more than happy to answer your question or get Betsy to answer the question if we aren't able to. I'm just going to hand back to Tannie Carroll if there's anything that you would like to say in closure.
Thank you, Manuel, and thank you everybody for all your contributions. It's really heartwarming to hear all the positive news as in GarsCom. I just want to correct you on the April meeting, Manuel. You remember we have not got an April meeting because of all the holidays, but our next meeting will be the AGM, the annual general meeting in May month. So please attend that one. That would be, we will be really very glad to see all of you there. I just want to say this about the about membership of the GarsCom Residents Association. Vanessa can give a more precise figure of how many people are members of the GRA members on this stage, but it's really a very small part of GarsCom, something like 300, less than 400 people, and the contribution that they make is keeping our whole system that we hear about tonight, about the control room. We've got an excellent communication system, control room, SAPs, we've got the control room manager, the security director. So we've got an excellent system to report and to be proactive and to be very quick to see that some well, aggravated crimes doesn't happen in our area. So why not get our people on board, that they join, that we can really do something, that we can make a difference with a lot of new members on board. And then I just also want to add about the patrols. I had a few people reporting that they said that they cannot drive every night. So that's also a big surprise to know you won't be driving every night patrol shift. It's only once in 10 days, and it can even be less. It depends on the team that you are in. But please, just as Manuel said, just write to patrols at GarsCom and ask for more information. We will gladly assist you on that. Yeah, that is all from my side. I just want to say thank you, Manuel, for all your trouble with the excellent meeting that we had, and everybody that contributed. Baie dankie.
Thank you, Tannie Carol, and thank you, residents. And that is then the end of our meeting. Again, if there's any more questions, please feel free to email us and we will be more than happy to assist you. Have a good evening and stay safe.
Manuel, before you go,
Thank you,
can I
everybody.
ask something quickly? Sorry, can I ask something quickly?
Yes, Stephen, you're welcome.
Yeah, a quick one. The GM in May, the general meeting in May,
Yes.
is it normally attended by everybody, or is it restricted to this team?
That is a good question. So normally, remember, the annual general meeting is to give feedback and financial feedback to the members, the GRA members. However, we do not, or we do not stop any of our residents from dialing in and being part of the AGM. However, it usually is just part of the GRA members that would be part of that, but everybody in our community is welcome to join.
Thank you.
Thanks, Stephen. We will be sending out information closer to the time, and it will be an online meeting as well. If we don't have it, if we have it in person, there will definitely be an online meeting as well. But yeah, please look out for that. We will send information closer to the time. All right, that is it from us, guys. Thank you very much. As I said, stay safe and reach out to us if there's anything we can assist with. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night to everybody.
And thanks, guys. Good night. Have a safe week.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Right.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.